Okay, well, another pen show bites the dust, as well. We don't say, I say. The pen show bites the dust. Another pen show has come and gone, and among the things I bought were these and this, and something over here. Nothing you need to see. Well, let me just see if I can find it so that I can show you. I want truth in advertising here. Is it this? If it wasn't this, it was something just like it. And I got a couple of, I think I got this. Yes, okay. I have all of the pen show swag. Love Friedrich. And one other thing, it's in here being soaked. Does it work yet? No, it does not work yet. So this is what I bought. And I will start with the good stuff last. Start with the, why is this just clogged? Because it is. So the first purchase of the day were these three pens. And sometimes at pen shows you can find good things. These two were in a cup, $5 each in this cup. And why not? Even a wearer for $5 is worth the $5 to a point, to a degree. And this was in there, a $5 thing. The cap doesn't really want to stay on, which I haven't quite figured out why, but it may need some little minor repair or something. I managed to swap the caps out and it fit better. It did look as if the point the pen had landed on its nib, making the nib even more Waverly than it normally would be. An extra Waverly nib. Its snout is a little tiny bit more upturned than it should be, but it writes smoothly, and I figured, why not? The cap that came with it, I believe, is this one, and this does not stay, so I just swapped it with the one that was on this pen, and it stays. So for good or for bad, by swapping caps, I made it work better. So, and it does seem, again, to write smoothly. And even though it does look like the cap did, or it landed on its nib awkwardly at one part of its life. Now, of course, I could be completely looking at the wrong nib, the wrong pen, but I don't think I am. I think this is the one I did get. Oh well, so that'll go in a drawer of some sort. The wearer, I don't know if this is the one I got, but it could be. It was either this one or one identical to it. And, you know, it's a wearer. So, but it has a pressure bar. It has a sack. It has everything it needs to have. I could take it apart and, you know, the pressure bar is worth $5. But keeping the pen complete and flipping it is worth $10 to me, or 15 maybe even. I'll triple my money on this one if I find someone that wants it. Nothing wrong with it. Perfectly fine. Whatever. Okay. For the most part, though. Oh, then I got this one. It's an English Parker in blue plastic, aerometric fill with a big blob of iridium for the nib. This was not $5, but more than that. You know, very perfectly good pen, big, broad nib, aerometric fill, squishy, 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 and it's fine. Nothing wrong with it, except it skips. And it may just be skipping because it had ink that I don't like in it or something. Easily tweakable to work well. Sometimes these nibs that have a big spherical blob on them are rather hard to keep aimed on the paper correctly, because if you rotate them just a little tiny bit, the slit in the nib won't make contact with the paper and it'll skip. So I find these really the hardest pens to use, because I'm always sort of moving my hand around to do drawings or my calligraphy. And but this, for someone who only writes, only takes notes, and is very standardized with how they hold the pen, this will be fine for them. New Haven made the nib for sure for this one. Or for what? Okay, so that goes over here. I'm putting it in the Parker 51 drawer. I've decided to arrange my pens by company rather than by point until the next pen show. Because if I'm going to try to narrow my, take pens out of my collection to sell, I want to make sure I'm not selling duplicates. And the easiest way for me to make sure that that doesn't happen is by sorting out pens by, it will have an N on it. Well, should I try to find an N on it? Just to double check your math here. Parker 14K 585 England 5, it says. God, that is one big chunk of, I don't see an N anywhere unless you're calling the N in the two N's in England one of the N's. Let's pull it out. See if there's an N underneath. No, it just says 5. under it. They're really cute little pens, these Parkers from England. I picked this up thinking that Ben, my cohort who helps me out at the pen shows, would like it. And he did, but he spent his dollars with other people, not with me. But this will make someone happy. I have one or two. I have had a number of these in my collection, and I just find their nibs are just too big for my purposes, but I really like the way they feel. The plastics feel very substantial and solid. They feel like they will last forever. Sort of a rubberiness to the plastic. So anyway, and it's in blue. You can't see because my house is too dark. But the thing that I paid the most for, and because of price and quantity, were these 6 Wahl Eversharp Sterling metal pens. Wahl Eversharp, except one is silver filled, and the one that is silver filled also has a crack in it, which I did not see when I bought it. And had I seen it when I bought it, I would have maybe not bought it. Which one is it? Again, I can't. This is the sterling silver. That clip. See this lever? Is this lever has some gold underneath the silver, so maybe that was a replacement. Okay, where's the silver filled one? Per Gustafson. In sunlight, one of these is very different than the others. Sterling, that's sterling. Let's just leave that over there. This one says sterling. God, I swear, the people that worked at the Wahl Eversharp company did not have to show their work. They didn't have reviews, otherwise almost all of them would have been fired. The way they're stamped, they're all over the fucking map. Okay, so this has, I see gold wash. So sterling silver made in USA. It says sterling silver, but it's brassing. The clip is brassing. Explain that to me, people. People. Okay, this is the one also that has a crack right there in the threads, which I did not see when I bought it, but I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I'm not going to let it bother me. It has a really nice nib, and it's battle worn. I did not get these from Mike. I got these from Andy Beliveau. Okay, sterling made in USA. Now this one is really cool because the wall, I don't know if you can see it, but I will try to illustrate it here. The serifs on the wall, on the lettering, they're really big. It's like they went way out of their way to make them really over the top. Okay, I don't think it's you're gonna be able to see it. Come on. Anyway, they're really, really exaggerated, more than usual. So this one has is that hard rubber or is that silver? Again, it's so weird. It feels metallic, but it's hard rubber. This is a number 3. Number 4. And the nib also has the really, I mean, the H on wall is like this. Really exaggerated. I think they're longer than they are normally. It's really cool. It's just okay. This is a warranted nib. This is the only nib that was not a wall, but it's really a nice nib. So I'm keeping it in here. I mean, I probably have a wall that I can put in it, but I really like the nib that it has. Sterling. But see, this one has, it would say wall pen at the top of the, Sterling, made in USA. Here's the top of the cap. And the wall is half cut off. I mean, you can see it, but it's supposed to be pushed down, and I don't, it could have been, screwed up and then hammered down, which is entirely possible. Andy Beliveau, who I bought this from, is a metal worker, metalsmith, so he could have tweaked that because of the end being all corroded and screwed up, which is fine. Okay, let's put that over there. This is the, which one is this one? Is this the one I thought was silver fill? This is the one that's cracked with the nice nib, brassing there. Getting all confused now. This is that chevron pattern, wall number 4 nib. RLB is the initials going down. And this is the one that I need to unscrew and put a new sack on, or figure out why this isn't working. This one has wall written on the top of the clip there. This one is silver filled. Okay, this one says silver filled, and you can see there's a little bit of brassing on the ends here. So this is the only silver filled one. This one has a wall 4 nib. So I was happy with these, even in retrospect. Initially I got 3, and I was smiling, thinking they were nice, and then I saw that there were 3 others, and I brought them to show my friend Ben, and I said, would you, he has more, would you like me to see if I can get these, and maybe you want to buy one? And I was getting I think I was getting a special price, which I will not disclose. I was getting a special price because I'm me, and I was buying a number of them, and he would not have given the price. If I just wanted to buy one, I would not have gotten that price. If I was someone else and wanted to buy 6, I would not have gotten that price, I'd like to think. So I was special in that way. But I ended up, I don't know why why did I pick just 3 to begin with? Why didn't I just get all 6 to begin with? What was wrong with me? Maybe the nibs weren't making me smile or something. This one, though, all of them seemed to work, and I think all of them were supposed to work. But this one, when I came to fill them up to play with them, this one was, the lever was not filling. So I'm trying my best to do a little bit of taking them out, but I think what I need to do is unscrew this, which is what I need to do. Well, it certainly needs a sack. That's for damn sure. So what I need to do now, though, now that I've gotten this far, I need to decide whether any of these are duplicates that I can sell. Because I don't need 6 more of these, really, do I? So what we're going to do right now, as soon as I can, while I'm here with you, we're going to open up the drawer that's right behind me and see what I have in the way of silver pens to find out which ones in fact are duplicates. A high point in a way of this little sale. There are a couple of high points in the show. There were 308 people that came through the door. And the first 100 people, I think, that were waiting in line for an hour before the show started were people buying Nathan's inks. Okay, where are my Sterling pens? What's the only gold fill ones here? Must have them somewhere else. Well, clearly, none of these that I just got are these. These have the double lines there. So we know that right now. And this one is not a match to, so all of these are, they're all keepers. That was easy. One of the high points of the show was having Mike Daigle and his friend Scott Brown come to my studio. And they got here and Nick crashed, just completely crashed and zonked out and was dead to the world until the next morning. So, but I gave them a little tour, and it clearly resonated with them. The studio, the collection of pens, the way I have things organized was all right up their proverbial alleys or streets or whatever they live on. And they were very, very happy to be here, I think. We just hung out and drank a little bit of beer here and there, and had a great time. And then after the show was done, we continued to have a good time at a restaurant, and I don't know, a good time was had by most, we'll say. I broke a pen. Hate doing that. Another pen that I had sold to someone came back to me because the sack had turned to gum. And my hands are still an inky mess from trying to get the sack out, which was not easy because when they turn to gum, they are just one sticky oil sledge of a nightmare. And but there's someone wanted to buy a Waterman pen from me, and I needed a new sack put in, and I ended up not being careful enough when I was putting the section back in. It cracked the barrel, which I hate when that happens, but it happened. I must have more Sterling pens than this. I don't know where they are, though. I really do need to, I need to do some trimming and make way for ducklings. I need to start going through my pens and deciding what I can sell. One of them that I chose yesterday 2 days ago to sell, I sold. It was a duplicate of this pen in black, and it's one of the first ones to sell. Good. But I think one of the things that makes it difficult for me to decide what to sell is that my pens are in so many different locations. Some are on my desk, some are, they have names, they're in a place that I put pens that have names. They're pens that have boxes to go with them, then I put them in the box and put them in the place where the boxes are. And consequently, I might have 3 of these pens located in 3 different places in my house. And if I want to just have one of these pens at some point in my life, I need to be able to put them all side by side like this and say, okay, I want this one. I don't want these. But I can't do that when I can't see them all at the same time. So maybe I'll do that one drawer at a time, one model of pen at a time. Put all my sterling eggs in one basket and say, okay, I can let these go. Because I think I could have sold, I was selling pens quite a bit cheaper than other people. And I need to raise my prices. That's what I need to do. So that's what I'll do. I'm just going to do something right now. Don't go away. I'm just going to walk over, since we're talking about these sterling pens. I'm just going to walk over here. Okay, well, I found these sets. This looks like this would say, if I look at it, I have a feeling this would say silver filled. And it does. It does say silver filled right there. So this pen and no, this one, no. See, yeah, it's starting to lose my mind. Where is my silver filled one? Oh, it's the big one. I remember now. It's this one. Oh, that's the one I just... This one? Okay, silver filled. Okay, the largest one I got from Andy was silver filled, which is not this one, clearly. This is sterling. and it's the crosshatchy, the herringbone thing with a wooden, with a hard rubber thing. Okay, so does that match this one? No, it does not match that one. Does it match this one? No. So they're all different. Good, I get to keep them all. This I think has the wrong section. I think I had to. This is one that was missing its section, and I found something that would vaguely fit. But the original section was broken or something, and finding a hard rubber section to fit a metal pen is not easy. So, but good. Anyway, I have 6 more pens in my collection. I don't have any duplicates of these. Good for me. Effects Technol. You, or are you there or here? There is a pen that you might like that I got. This is blue. It's an English Parker, big, blobby. Nib. From England. So I'll take a picture of that and send it to you if that's something you might like. Yours is a piece of junk. Well, what? How can it be a piece of junk? I mean, it's idiot proof. You know, you could have put it down the garbage disposal, I guess. Did that happen? Was that what happened to it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, worn out. Well, it's hardly a piece of junk. This is very worn, and I don't think this is a piece of junk. One thing that was fun at the pen show is I made these fezzes with pen nibs on them and calligraphy and stuff, and people loved them. I sold one to the dealers in the room. I sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 to people in the room that were behind their tables, and then I sold maybe another 5 to visitors, so about 10. And I gave the remaining 10 that I didn't sell to Nicola to bring to California, so he'll sell them at shows maybe for me. Sure. I hope I have your size. I have some that are bright blue, so if push comes to shove, I have blue ones. Ugh. Oh, well, I could the 7 5/8 is the largest size I have. I don't know if I have any blanks of that though at this point. So, but I do have blue ones that I probably can do. And I also had a lot of drawings that I had in little doodles that I do, and people really enjoyed those. I sold maybe, I don't know, 8 of those maybe. Gave a couple away. So all in all, I sort of broke even. These pens I bought, totaled pretty much most of the pens that I sold. But I sold, twice as many pens as I bought. Well, you might be able to disguise, the fez, you could maybe let it out in the back a little bit, because it's really only the bottom part of the fez that hits your noggin. So if you let it out in the back. But 7 5/8 is pretty big. Ugh. Look at me. Effects Technol. This was in someone's $5 bin, but the cap didn't fit. But I was able to swap caps out, so at least this one I think also had it fell a little bit somewhere in its life, and its Waverly nib became even more Waverly-y. Yeah, one tine goes up a little bit more than the other. The points meet, but they're just, it did have a fall. And if this was a normal nib, I wouldn't have any qualms about trying to make it work. But this one works perfectly fine now, and I'm not going to fuck with it. Again, it had, the problems it had were this: the cap didn't stay on, and the nib was damaged. So a purist would not like it, but someone like me who can try to sell a pen. He also had a lot of really nice Sheaffer pencils that would go really nicely with striped Sheaffer pens, but I don't need a pencil anymore. I don't really need to do that. This is blue. There, blue. See? Pretty. Okay, guys, what am I going to do? Maybe this is the one I bought today. Is this the one I bought from him? Maybe it was one of these. Not the... I sold one of these with the, the broken ends to someone. Waterman 100-year pen, or a whatever pen. It was a guy that posted on the Fountain Pen Network about wanting to go to the pen show to find flexible nibs and vintage flexible nibs, and I was among the people that was recommended to visit. I don't know if he bought pens from other people, but he bought 2 from me, and he was very, very happy. He said people were always talking about vintage pens, and now I understand why. So I think he's a convert. The pen show was okay. I had very low expectations because of COVID, and I just wasn't sure who would show up and whether they would have money to spend and desire to be in a room full of people. But it was okay. My friend Ben, who was helping me, was getting a nib tweaked at Richard Binder's table, and people, because he was so popular, he had to have people write their name on a list, and he would do them in order of order. And Ben was waiting in line and saw the guy in front of him write his name on the list, and it was a weird name, which I can't remember. Let's just say it was Shimbola Smith. And Ben said, "I knew a Shimbola Smith in England when I was in school." And Shimbola Smith at the Boston Pen Show turned around and said, "I'm that guy." So, small world that Ben and his cohort from Cambridge met at the pen show. Okay, that's all I have to say. I need to tidy up. I almost thought, Effextinol, that you were at the pen show. Well, I knew that you weren't, but I almost took a photograph of someone's license plate because it looked like it was another version of your name. It was, A P something GNOL, Effextinol or something. I was too out of it to get my phone out of my pocket, take a picture of it. Okay, now I'm going to go away and wash my hands and try to put the rest of my house together back to normal. So we'll catch you all later. Bye.